Previously on Spokes and Scenery.
I've been talking about doing this trail for years, and today the day's finally come. This is just like going for a nice ride down a country lane, except you don't have to worry about the traffic. This is perfect. Definitely not ideal. Wow. I mean, I can see it's been like recently graded, so it's pretty level, but type of gravel here, this is slippery.
And now.
Looks like this is about the only way to get a really good view of the river, unfortunately, but still pretty cool to be here. And now I think it's time to keep on going. Neat little gravel road. Remember earlier I was talking about just how straight the trail is, so kind of neat to see that at this point got a nice curve to start things off with after the river. Guess we'll just have to see what comes next. Now this section I can already tell the ground's a little bit rougher than what came before. Still not bad, and wow. Great view of the fields. You can see the crops starting to grow. That's awesome. Definitely, the further away I get from Ottawa, the more I'm really into this trail here. This is pretty cool. Look how tall some of these trees are. Wow. That's kind of cool, because I also was mentioning that, you know, earlier on some of the trees were so short, and you knew that they weren't there when the railway line was put down, but some of the trees out here have definitely been around for a very long time. Looks like that was probably an ATV path over there. Wow. Talking about wide open places once again. Love that. Wow. Just look at that marshland. That is beautiful. This trail is definitely not what I expected. In all honesty, I just figured it would be farmers' fields, farmers' fields, farmers' fields, farmers' fields the entire way. I said it in the beginning, I've been out in the area, at least up around Ottawa. This is all new to me out here, this far out. But all the places I've been out in that area have all been farmers' fields. And, you know, I don't do a deep dive into these trails before I go out and run them. Just have a quick look at the map, see, okay, yeah. Okay, farmers' fields, all right, cool. And then I see it when I see it, and I'll say it again. This is not what I expected. What a difference from the Ottawa area. This trail is definitely worth coming out and experiencing for anybody. This is a good one. I also love that there's so many access points too. So depending on what you'd like to experience, you can drive out to the location, park up, and then go and hit the section that you want. Or if you're like really gung-ho like me, just go out, do the entire length, and experience it as it changes. I am so glad this is here. Now here's something that probably hasn't changed since the time that the trains were running by. Probably used to always round this bend and see this wicked field here. Marshlands on one side, farmer's field on the other, and up here on this big berm. Love it all, love it. Thank you. I know it's a bad habit of mine to get all quiet when I'm supposed to be hosting these videos, but on the other hand, this is just me out for a ride. Just me and my bike. And I'm doing the videos this way because I don't want to be lugging around a camera and stopping and starting and, you know, spending 3/4 of my time looking for the next shot. Instead, I just want to be in the moment. And when I get quiet like that, I really couldn't be any more in the moment than what I am. This is, oh, I can't put it into words. I love it. Oh, we got a turkey up ahead. There he is. Look at him go. He's kicking up a little dust cloud. I've never seen one move that fast. It was like a road runner. That guy must have had the buffest turkey legs ever in the history of turkeys. Oh, this is just perfect. And you know, right now, this just brings me back to one of the first things I ever saw when I first heard about the Prescott-Russell Trail. And I don't remember who it was, but it was a video that was posted up on YouTube. And I think it was a ride from one end to the other. And anyway, these guys were just bashing it. Just saying, you know, Ontario's desert wastelands, it's all flat and farmers' fields and it's garbage. And I'm out here, I'm experiencing this, and honestly, I don't think I've had as much of a peaceful rail trail ride as I'm having on this trail. The surface is really good. I'm not having to spend much time worrying about that. And I can just look around at my surroundings and just take it in. There's all this variety on this trail, like these wide open fields. The further east I go, there's the forest that was like totally unexpected there. A bunch of wetlands, a couple of bridges, and I'm not even done. I'm just a little bit past the halfway point. So I can't wait to keep on going and just see the rest of this. And like variety, that's a sign of a great trail for me, because it's like, I want to see the rest of it. Now out here, the track isn't quite as well maintained, so there is a little bit of up and down with a couple of small little ruts. A little bit of grass that's growing there, but nothing bad. Nothing that you'd need a mountain bike or a hybrid or anything special for. You'd still do this on a 10-speed if you want to, a road bike. Wow. Pretty cool. And of course, now that I'm out here, I'm just gonna bring back that thought I had earlier. Why the heck didn't I come out earlier? And I know I answered that earlier too, but man, I think if I'd known, then for sure I would have been out earlier. It says 39 kilometers to the end here. Got another great little stop here. That's another huge advantage of coming out on this trail is they do have bathrooms, they've got rest areas, just absolutely perfect. I don't know any other rail trail that's got as many amenities along the line as this one does. So I'm really impressed by that. No one crossing. Let's move. See what's next. This is just a great way to spend an afternoon on a spring or summer day. Doesn't matter how far you go. Doesn't matter how fast you go. All that matters is be able to come out to a place like this and be able to appreciate it. Doesn't even matter how long for either. As long as you're able to come out to a place like this and it leaves you with that peaceful feeling, that happy feeling. That's what it's about. So over to my left, I can actually see part of the Gatineau Hills. I'm not talking about the big mound of dirt there, just in the distance. You can make them out. So that tells me that this is pretty close to the Ottawa River, I guess, where I am right now. So what would be interesting about coming out here later on in the summer is to see all the crops growing up instead of just the freshly tilled soil. If it was cornfields, it'd be something pretty cool to see. I think I mentioned this earlier in the ride too, but there's little trail markers along the side of the trail that tell you how far you are. So if you ever need to know where you are on the trail or how far you are until the end, I think about every half kilometer or so, you've got one poking out on the right. So I should be coming up to one soon, I think. Keep a lookout for it and see if I can see it. There's one, 36.5. You don't really see them till you're right up on them. There is a bit of a wind out here. I guess because all the fields, there's nothing really to stop the wind, so she blows pretty good. But when you do get between the trees, it does help block a little bit of it. The wind does feel good. Looks like coming up to another stop here. Oh, cool road. Now we're starting to get into the first, looks like, more rough section of this trail. Not really surprised by this either. Kind of figured the further east I'd get, the less maintained it'd be. It's actually what I was secretly hoping for. Holy crap, this is so cool. This has me wondering if this part of the trail has ever been graded, or if this is just how it's sort of naturally happened since Via pulled all the tracks with all the little dips and hills. The earlier section, you can definitely tell that that was really taken care of. Man, the window here is crazy. Chad, now you got a really good view of the Gatineau Hills right there to my left. Beautiful. I don't like giving too much stuff away for my future rides, but wow, would you look at the Gatineau Hills? They look kind of beautiful. Wonder if there was a rail trail that traveled north through the Gatineau Hills. Nah, there couldn't be, could there? Yeah, wow. Crazy wind. This will be on my back the way heading back, so that'll be real nice. But you know, it's a real strong wind when you can hardly even hear yourself speak. And I know I'm speaking loud and projecting my voice here, and I'm probably like screaming into this thing, but I'm kind of hoping that the wind noise isn't too bad, because this mic, the little dead cat fluffy thing, isn't quite as good as the one that I had on my original mic. Now the sound quality on this is better, but I think it's, no matter what gear you get, there's always pluses and minuses. But I think overall, the DJI Mic 2 was a really, really good call to pick up to do these videos. Interesting to see a couple of people out here. Pretty far away from everything, but always cool to see. Yeah, just beautiful. Hey. I have to say, it's the one thing I'm a little bit jealous of Quebec about. They made sure to have the border just over there so that they could get the mountains. And we were kind of left in the lurch here in Eastern Ontario. I mean, this is beautiful, and we do have some areas with some pretty good hills, but I think we need to reevaluate our border between Ontario and Quebec. Let's talk about Quebec a little bit, because I hardly ever do that. For the life of me, I have never understood why people from Quebec get their cottages in Ontario, come on out here, and spend their summer weekends out in cottage country, either north of Kingston or north of Toronto. It blows my mind, because dollar for dollar, Quebec has the more beautiful cottage landscape. You go up around Chicoutimi, Jonquière, and the lakes up there, the mountains, the forests. I mean, my money, that is the best area in all of this part of Canada to go and spend your summers. And I'm talking from experience here. I have done that. I will never ever forget the summer I spent up there when I was 12. Just me with my cousin and aunt, and spent it by a lake and made a whole bunch of friends, and yeah, great times. So if you want to talk about somebody who has no beef with Quebec, it's definitely me. I love it. Now, what I do have a beef with is Montreal. To me, it's like Toronto. It's a megacity. I don't like megacities. The amount of stress you have to drive through a megacity is out of this world. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they live there. I definitely avoid going to Montreal if at all possible. same way I avoid going to Toronto. Ottawa is a different story. It's just, Ottawa's more green. It's smaller. It's got a smaller city vibe to it. Just something special about it. Anyway, I was once told to tell stories when I'm on bike rides. Doesn't matter what they are, whether drinking stories or whatever. Hey guy, to you who said that on my Cornwall video, I'm listening to you. That's my story. But on the flip side, this is also a real-time video, which means it's not an edited video. And there's gonna be points where I don't talk, just to take in the scenery for myself and anybody else that decides they want to check this out. Somebody has comments on a video and they're good comments, I'll listen to them for sure. The only thing that I laughed about when I read that one was he was commenting on a video that I'd filmed like over 6 months before I posted it. And I'd already started recording newer videos where I was talking more. That was kind of the plan. So he'd pass that comment like 1 or 2 videos right before the new one started where I was talking more. It was right on the money. I have more fun watching my own videos when I do talk a little bit more. I don't know how to get around this one. Oh, there we go. Now see, so don't think you're going to avoid jam-ups in the middle of nowhere. They can happen anywhere. I was sitting back there and I'm starting to think, all right, if I got enough room to go on the side of them, it's a little iffy. Didn't want to get too close and, you know, spook them. It's no fun when you're riding your bike and you get spooked by somebody. But wind's also blowing this way pretty strong, so I kind of figured he'd have a hard time hearing my bell. I'm gonna just take this in for a bit. So beautiful, the mountains in the distance. Can't believe I'm out here doing this. Sign says 30 clicks left of this trail. This has been an adventure for sure. You're never so far out in the wild that you feel uncomfortable by what you might run into, but once you're 8-10 kilometers outside of Ottawa, feels nice. More than once I've been riding along here and just thinking to myself, why aren't more people talking about this trail? I don't know. Can't answer that one. I'm not at the end, so I can't totally put this on my ranking board yet, but from where I am right now, almost 3/4 of the way through it. Wow. This one just shot up a little higher on my list. I don't know if the camera got that, but there was a massive, massive beaver den in there. Huge. Anyway, if I'm gonna rate them, Prescott-Russell Trail, number 1, hands down. We already know what number 2 is. I was talking about that one earlier. McNabb-Braeside Millennium Trail. The Havelock Recreational Trail, number 3. Number 4, the Prescott-Russell Trail. It now bumps out the Millennium Trail in Prince Edward County down a spot. I forgot about the K&P Trail. Beautiful. Yeah, so that's why I don't do ranking systems, because you get out in the middle of someplace like this and your mind just goes to pot, and yeah. Once upon a time, trains used to go straight through. But now, I guess I gotta head up the road for a little bit. Pick it back up down here. Well, I see trees at an angle here, so I'm pretty sure that's where I'm gonna be picking her back up. There she is. There we go. Beauty. Now that to me was not well marked. That was just a guess. Like, maybe this part of the trail's been just not turned into a trail. So, kind of glad. The other thing was, since they have mile markers down, I'm like, there's no way the trail ends here. Yeah, this is Pretty cool. What a beautiful place. Makes you wonder who the first person was that thought, you know what, we can turn these abandoned train lines into multi-use pathways. Whoever they are, gotta say thank you. That's so cool. Wow. Kind of cool. They've even got signage for some of the different plants and animals that are around. I've seen that kind of stuff along the Prescott-Russell Trail and the K&P Trail. If you're riding down one of these pathways and you're just looking for a little spot to take a break, they're usually a pretty good spot to, you know, pull over, grab something to drink, something to eat, and then continue on after a little break. You love that. For the most part, pretty much alone out here on the trail, but there are some joggers, there's some cyclists, so you're not too alone. I guess just alone enough. You know, when you want to get out to nature, you want to get away from the rat race and just enjoy that feeling of freedom. It's good not to have too many people around, but you also just want to have that security of knowing there's somebody else around if you ever need some help. Look how far those hydro lines stretch. Wow. Is so far in the distance. That is so beautiful. Wow. Just the rolling hills, the fields there, trees that have been left. I don't know if the people who own the land did that on purpose just for aesthetics, but Wow. Some beautiful country out here. Another quiet little period from me. Just taking in the surroundings. So what's interesting is the trail did get rough for a little bit. Nothing really horrible as far as the gravel or dirt or anything, but afterwards it's kind of gotten nice again. So, oh. Nice woods around here. Yeah, looks like there's a crossing coming up. Stay behind this guy and take a break at the crossing. Seems like a good place to just take a break for a minute and get something to drink. Yeah, this isn't bad so far. Spoke too soon. I did that thing again where I said this isn't bad.